Right guys, I'm in the wife's new car today and I'm fitting a dash cam front and rear. So it's a nice little T-Roc, beautiful looking car. So what I want to bring you along for is just to show you the easiest way to find an ignition live. So if you want your dash cam to work when you turn the ignition on and go off when you turn the ignition off. Now some dash cams, I'm fully aware that you can have a permanent live on it as well for car parked features of the cameras. This one's, I'm not going to use the permanent thing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to find the ignition live, and that's your fuse box. So in a T-Roc, it's behind the glove box. Dead easy to pull these glove boxes down. Just a couple of little tabs on either side. You just push down, or push up, sorry. So let's have a look at this. So we've got the fuse box, and because I work on Volkswagens all the time, I roughly know what's going on. So I'll show you what's going on. So there's no ignition on at the minute, as you can see, completely black screen, and you will find that the car has permanent lives. So there's no ignition, and that's at just over 12 volts. So just remember guys, if you are checking fuses like this, that you have a reference voltage. Yeah, because if you're looking for 12 volts and you only see 9, you think there's a resistive fault already, don't you? Whereas in actual fact, if your battery only has 9 volts, you're only going to see 9 volts. So just bear that one in mind with any wiring that you do on cars, guys. Reference voltage first, direct from the battery. So we're going to look at this here as this 20 amp fuse. We're going to have a look at that bad boy. So as you can see now, barely any voltage. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to turn the ignition on. So you'll hear me lean. And then we'll go straight onto that 20 ampere again. So you might hear the radio. Come on, guys. We best turn it down for YouTube, because they get a little bit butthurt about stuff like that. So now, as you can see, we've got the ignition on because we've got a glove box light. So let's have a look at this 20 amp. Now, 12 volts. Bosh. Obviously, it's going to be a little bit less because we've got the ignition on. It's drawing current from the battery. So 12 volts is ace. And then if we turn the ignition off again, you'll see that that's back to 0. So we know that that's a good ignition live. Now, you have got to be careful with the ignition lives as well, guys. Is because it might be ignition live to start with, but while you're on the journey, that ignition live may just drop off. It may not be needed once the car's warmed up, for instance. So just be careful what lives you're using, and if you have picked an ignition live to start with that turns off halfway through a journey, that's not going to be any good for your camera. Okay, so we're going to use that 20 amp fuse. Now the kit I bought is from Amazon. It's nothing crazy, but it's a 5 volt transformer, and this camera works on a 5 volt, so it comes pretty much like that. So you know you've got your transformer there, it's going to give you the right voltage, it's not going to burn your camera to pieces. And then you get these attachments as well, these little fuse attachments. You've also got the big one. Yeah, so we know that we're going to use that 20 amp fuse there, which is a big fuse, same as that. So what it does is that plugs into the fuse box there. You put your 20 amp in there, and it's essentially a piggyback where you've not got any crazy wiring, anything like that. It's straight into the fuse box, and then you wire the wiring direct into that, and obviously a known good earth, which would be in there somewhere. But I'm going to get to fitting that now. Just wanted to show you the best way to find the ignition lives when wiring your cameras in. So enjoy that one, guys, and I'll see you in the next one.